Newsfirst, NEWSLINE with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And a very good morning to you. This is NEWSLINE Live. We're broadcasting, as we almost always do, from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And this morning we have a guest producer, a long time. He's been absent from producing this program, and young Chatranga Hapuarachi has left his lofty places to now turn up here and produce this program this morning. So thank you for that. Very, very nice of him. And here we go. This is NEWSLINE Live. We're broadcasting from the Newsfirst studios, and it's all about politics. Let's find out what's going on at the hustings. And we've got here, live in the studio, Mr. Chanima Weerakkodi. Very good morning to you, Mr. Weerakkodi.
Good morning, Faraz.
And how's it going on the campaign trail?
Very good. People want a steady, strong government to support implementation of the President's vision and his manifesto.
And is the Prime Minister fully committed to allowing the President to do as he envisions?
Absolutely. President expects the Prime Minister, together with a strong team in Parliament, to carry out implementing his vision and the manifesto.
Mahinda Rajapaksa is a great delegator, and therefore, and perhaps therefore, he's got what we call baggage. He's got hangers-on who are not exactly the best thing since sliced bread as far as mind is concerned, because they're forever doing things which he's got to resolve and sort out. How much of that influence is still with Mahinda?
No, it's up to the people. Now, all these years, people can afford to say, look here, Parliament is this. We don't like this particular person in Parliament. We don't like this particular person behind whoever the leader. That's what people say. That's what you indirectly say as well. It is up to the people. Now the Parliament is dissolved. We are all ex-members of Parliament.
Yeah.
So it is up to the people now to decide whom to be re-elected. So if people take a correct decision, then Mahinda Rajapaksa as a person, he is the person whom people expect in this country to sit in the chair of the Prime Minister.
Yes,
with his experience, with his exposure.
What about his baggage?
No, that's it. The baggage, if you think there is any baggage, baggage clearance time is this. It can be done by the people.
But it goes round and round in the same conveyor belt, and it's only stopped in between when the governments change. That's the problem.
No, it will not be the case in the event such are not re-elected. So the hand, now it's in the hands of the people. So I emphasize, I reiterate, people should come forward and take a decision. And
people should sort of vote the right people in.
Absolutely. So it's up to the people.
Yeah.
That's I'm telling you with the greatest respect to every citizen of this country.
Yeah.
Please be mindful of the person to whom you vote, because finally, for another 5 years, you will not be able to recall him. You will, all what you can do is that the Parliament is corrupt, or the government is corrupt, or the Parliament or the government has not been able to function up to the expectation of the people. If people expect good delivery, appoint, elect people who can do that.
You're wearing a nice shirt.
Thank you.
Somebody just said that.
Yeah.
So, the people watching here.
Yeah.
But the questions are coming in, and you can send your questions, by the way, just to remind you, 0772 300 305 by SMS. And the number, of course, is on the screen. Look, it's all working like clockwork this morning, excepting you're not answering my question. What about the baggage? These people who are tainted. Yes, the thing is that they're tainted. And usually they've made so much of money, usually through questionable means,
Yeah.
been corruption. So then they do a lot of work in that little place for their people.
Exactly, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you
So what
if you know of anyone who's who has a tainted personality image, then such can be removed only at an election. And if you take the appointees, this time you can, I mean, everyone sees
Yeah.
that a majority of over 95% of the political appointments this time comprise of competent professionals who have a proven track record and who are acceptable.
Even from this new alliance?
Yes.
From the new alliance led by Mr. Sajid Premadasa? Yeah.
There is no alliance. I mean, that's an alliance without a symbol. So that's
sorting it out.
But that's a chaotic alliance.
But you said some time ago, not too long ago,
Yeah.
you said that there are some special deals for people from that alliance.
I don't understand. But
You said that you all are treating them with some form of deal. You're treating them well. Do you mean that you're treating certain people from the other side, if you like? Now you remember.
Not from an alliance. But I'm not from an alliance per se.
Yeah.
But there are people on the other side who have been like indicating or rather signaling their willingness to join the other side.
You mean they're angling to do a deal in case the balance of power is just sort of there.
Absolutely. So that is another reason. That is another.
So, but that's a start. You see, that's a start of corruption.
No, that absolutely. That is why. That's another very important factor that the people should take into consideration. People should vote for those who will stand by the policies that they are presently representing.
So but all these. But who are some of these people? Give us a hint.
No, I don't want to personally.
No, you don't want to malign
pinpoint people.
But it's only slander or libel only if you have malicious intent. Now, when you have, and being a lawyer, you know this, when you have the better interests of the people at heart, then there can be no maliciousness. So, come on, tell us, who is it?
So I don't have to tell. I mean, if you.
But you're the one who made this.
Had you listened to UNP press conferences, they have openly given names. So that's an internal battle. We don't want politically, strategically to tell you. We don't want to get involved in a battle on the other side, enabling them to resolve it. But because politically, tactfully, them battling internally is the best that can happen to our political party, but not for the country.
Yes,
I'm telling you, people don't expect parties where there are internal infighting.
Right.
People want a strong government, as I said. They want a government that can implement what people expect.
I'm a bit puzzled.
A government that can implement president's manifesto.
I'm a bit puzzled.
Yeah.
Because what about this business about Vietmaga? You all have your own internal problem.
No,
there's deep unhappiness. These people from Vietmaga, they are all sort of very idealistic and have their wonderful plans and so on.
Yeah.
And the president is, this is Vietmaga. Is very fond of the president.
Vietmaga was helpful right through in bringing this president into the picture and electing him as the president. And their inputs were very useful in formulating policy, and even as of now, their contribution is very important in implementation.
Perhaps it's because Sajid Premadasa has a very high profile, and therefore his problems, or what is perceived as his problems are not really that big. It's just about a symbol. He'll get it soon. But in the meantime, you guys are covering up behind that. Behind him, you've got your own problems. Viatmaga has worked tirelessly to get President Gota to where he is.
Absolutely.
And now, and even today, even yesterday, there's speculation as to what is going to happen to your alliance. And there's one, Prasanna Ranatunga is saying, if anyone's connected to Maithripala Sirisena, don't vote for him. But that's a problem.
Individuals independently, based on their intelligence and political preferential issues, can make statements, because this is
but he's also part of this alliance.
Yeah, this is a time where everyone's naturally fighting to get their preferences high.
Right.
So there are such individual utterances, but at the same time, people should understand. Now, our alliance is
but
set.
At the same time,
what is important? What is important for us?
It is important not to point fingers at the other side.
No, there can be individual issues. But what is important is now SLPP. Now our alliance has confirmed that we are contesting under SLPP.
Yeah.
Our symbol is Pohottua.
Yeah.
So the disciplinary control of any member elected from our alliance will be handled by SLPP. So that is confirmed, that we have informed to the Commissioner Elections. Whereas on the other side, UNP has not indicated their willingness to contest. Samagi Balavege or whatever has indicated their willingness, but they have still not been able to even decide on their symbol. So there is technically a problem. In our case, there had always been
it's a matter of days.
There had always been preferential issues, public utterances, individuals, various people contest. But people should understand what the priority should be. I may say things, you may say things as candidates, but what is most important presently is to appoint people who can contribute, to appoint people who are not corrupt, appoint people who can who have the best interest for the country, appoint people who stand by their policies, appoint people who have had a good past track record.
Goodness me! So this is a little bit of, I'm sorry, there's only one word to describe this, and it's Sinhalese. It's a bit of baila, isn't it? What you're saying?
No, it's not a baila. It's not a baila. Let people decide. I mean, if it is up to the people.
Yeah.
Look at the candidates and decide as to who can do the best for the country. I mean, people, none of us.
7,500 million divided by 225. Get out your apps. Get the phone going. Come on, 7,500 million divided by 225. 33.3333 million rupees per seat in parliament.
Yeah.
That's how much the public is spending.
No,
and do they really want ethanol cardio and this cardio, kudu cardio?
Absolutely, people should not. That's what I'm telling you. Anyone now, it's like...
Now somebody's asking, for a viewer is saying, can you tell the minister, can you tell him what about the fact that the parties are nominating those same people?
I will give you an answer. Last elections, our party decided not to allow 4 candidates who would have won had they contested. We didn't give them nominations. But had they contested, they would have even topped the list in the particular districts.
Right.
We did not allow them to contest as a first step. But what happened? During the last presidential election, 2 of them were on two of them were on the opposition candidates stage. I mean, how can, there has to be collectivity.
Look, you know I told you this story about Prasanna Ranatunga. He's in the front page of the papers this morning.
Yeah.
Do you think he's talking shop and that he doesn't have a voice at Porto?
No, I mean, these are, like I said, these are preferential issues. People have, individuals have various independent opinions. But what I'm telling you is, what is most important? Of course, it's important. It's important, I must tell you, the fact that the candidates or the members who get elected should be ready to toe the party line. If you are not sure as to what is going to do after getting elected, then you must, like I said, be concerned. That's also important. But at the same time,
look,
what is most important?
I don't want to. This is nothing personal. But you've got a person who's. I'll tell you the name at the end. But you've got a person who's contesting in the Gampar district. Right? He was also in this special advisory panel, right? And he was part of this Vietmag and all that. He's tainted himself. Now, like I got to hear, I'm just talking about him. He's got case against him. He's out actually for want of. He's actually out on bail. And we all know, yes, this presumption of innocence and all that business. But that really comes into play when you're inside the courtroom. The judge must be. It's not for the. You can't ignore these things. When these people, they're clearly tainted.
I'll tell you what.
What's the big rush to come to Parliament? Why can't he wait back, fight his case out, at however long, many years it takes, right? And then come forward and then contest. Why come in between?
We have to look at it in this way, right? Now, anyone, of course, during the last regime, there was a committee that was politically directed to file action. It's a known fact. And most of the cases filed as directed by the, what is that, FCID. Once the case was determined, almost in every case the accused were discharged. So there is, like, you have to take that also into consideration. And at the same time, in this particular instance, people have again access to everyone's conduct. You have to just type a person's name. Then anyone can find out as to what the issue is. So then in that case, I mean, it's not fair by an individual if he is implicated due to political reasons. I do not know.
But I'm
not telling you in this particular case as to whether he is politically implicated or not. It's not trying to. But at the same time, in fairness to him, had it been the case, it is up to his voter to study as to what he has done, as to why he has been indicted, and decide on their own, because finally it is the people who will decide.
Or is it finally the candidate who wants to be nominated? Is it the candidate with the largest amount of money coming there? So the party says, they say to the party, look, I can bring 50 million, give me the nomination. Isn't that the real story?
No, that should not be the criteria.
And
but at the same time,
involved in pumping and dumping, you got a lot of money.
No, but that should not be the criteria. But at the same time, finally the jury is the people. I mean, not everyone who's nominated by the party.
I don't want to take anything. I don't want to take anything away from you. There's a view from Gaul, presumably maybe one of your supporters, who's reminding me that you got the largest amount of votes in Gaul.
Absolutely, last time.
Right. So you indeed are a man of the people.
Absolutely. In my case, I'm telling you, in my
just
case,
as much as Newsfirst is the channel of the people.
Yeah.
Right. Even if I have to say it myself. Right. Because I
my,
don't believe these
in my
rating
case,
agencies.
I represent an intelligent electorated district.
Yeah.
People there, I mean, they know what my track record has been.
Yeah.
I can very openly say my hands are clean.
Did you get any calls from Arjun Aloysius?
No.
No?
No.
No, he didn't? He didn't call you?
Not at all.
Didn't give you a flat or anything? Didn't give you a loan?
You're joking. I'm not the sort who will...
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know that. But I'm just asking so that I can ask the question at least.
Certainly you can ask any question.
Because otherwise people will say, oh, Faraz didn't ask him the question.
Ask any question. I'm ready to answer any question.
Did you get a call this time?
No, this time.
This election. I'm sure Arjun's been on the phone.
Well, not as yet.
No?
Not as yet.
Okay. All right. Will you accept if he attempts?
Not under any circumstances.
But why not?
There are people...
It's easy money.
No. There are people who support you at an election. I don't say that people don't support us. I mean, we had to have finances.
Yeah.
But we are very concerned about the people who support us in an election. I mean, it's very difficult to run a campaign. Yeah, as of now also, because we are closely connected to the people, we are able to run the campaign.
But I want to say this, I just want to say this. Today we're having a bit of an extended program.
Yeah.
So we're waiting, but I'm sure they'll agree because it's ever so interesting. But I want to say that we, as the network, we can honestly say that, believe me, we've looked at you with a fine-tooth comb. And I'm happy to say that Action TV and everybody else up there, right?
Yeah.
My colleagues on the floor, all looking through files.
Let them.
Yeah.
Give
But
them
they are.
enough
But
time.
I can happily tell you that we can confirm that you're clean.
Thank you very much.
I just want to make that point. All your listeners out there and voters out in Gaul and everywhere else, take it from us. Our guest is as clean as they come. But shall we look at the leaders? Shall we look at the leaders that we have?
Yeah.
They've all got some form of headache behind them or above them. You look at it. I mean,
naturally in politics, because in politics, we get elected out of votes.
Yeah.
People who vote for us have various backgrounds.
Yeah.
So when it's a political party, there are various people who get into the fray. There are various...
But yes, I understand this, but Shanima, my problem really is that dear Minder, he's a terribly nice fellow, but he's a bit soft, isn't it? Because he can't say no to his sons, he can't say no to his mates, he can't say no to a lot of people. And that's the problem, because when he can't say no to various people, he's a nice chap, right? And he's got a vision, and he wants to, and he's got dear Basil to help him with the vision and all that, right? The problem is he's a bit too soft.
Yeah.
And now with his age, do you think that he can actually change his spots? Did you notice when President Gota went to India, he went like any other passenger, right? He went there. I went through the other day. I asked the fellow, can you tell me where the president went through? And he said, in this counter here. And apparently he stood in the queue. There's some people ahead of him, and they tried to bring him forward. And he said, no, you carry on first. He stood in the queue. He stood his place. Dear Minder does it in style. He got loads of people with him.
No, he didn't.
That's the problem.
No, can I tell you?
Yes, now you always say, I know what you'll say, but let you say it. Got it.
Now,
you say.
President, that was his first invite, and that was a courtesy call. Prime Minister had to follow up the discussions, and then in his tour, a lot of agreements had to be signed.
Don't belittle the president. Come on.
The relevant officials had to travel with the Prime Minister.
And then the president, the first visit from the newly elected president to our superpower neighbor?
Yeah.
You're trying to say that that wasn't so important?
That was important, but it was Prime Minister's was a follow-up. You know, that was when the president was elected immediately, he paid a courtesy call,
But
and then he assigned the Prime Minister.
Isn't it sometimes...
So he had to go with relevant officials, other than the relevant
including,
officials.
what was the role of Yoshita? Did he go?
I mean,
Did he go? What was his role?
I must tell you, I checked up, even this
Yeah.
came up. Yoshita has gone there out of his personal funds. And Mahinda Rajapaksa as the president.
You know, I'm tempted to say... I'm tempted to say to you.
He was there, president,
What
the Prime
personal
Minister.
funds?
Prime
What
Minister,
personal
Prime
funds?
Minister was there without his wife. And with his age, a family member has to be, I mean, it is...
No, we
our
understand
culture.
that.
It's
We
our
under-
culture. So what's
we
wrong
got-
in...
we
and-
got- but
and
we
a-
got-
and
we
a
got-
son,
we
and a
got-
son,
Yes, we got
out of his
we got
personal funds.
Captain Neville.
What?
We got Captain Neville. Neville, the dear man Neville,
Yeah.
he's Minder's shadow. And
Yeah.
we know that he does absolutely everything. If he needs his vitamin, he needs his take-up, he needs anything.
You're
it's
like CID.
Neville. He needs Neville. So Neville is Neville, right? We all, you know, appreciate our culture and so on.
Yeah. So what's wrong in it? I mean,
What
had
is
he-
the job they're doing?
No,
to-
why if had he visiting him out of his personal funds?
What-
that
where
has
is
not
the
been a
personal
burden.
funds from?
That has not been a burden on the government. He has
Personal funds or personal funds paid by one of the supporters,
no,
one of the
whoever-
hangers-on.
it's not state funds. Yoshita has not used state funds for that visit. I mean, it's very clear. So, but at the same time, I mean, when, supposing it's your father or my father, when you know that he's like traveling alone,
Look, I can
our
understand.
culture is such, my mother would have always told me, look
Go,
here,
go,
go with him.
yeah,
He's
right.
under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, these are meetings where a lot of things have to be negotiated. So, I mean, these
Well,
are...
what, you mean you
Had he-
don't,
had he used-
mean there were deals to be negotiated?
Had he, I mean, this is, I don't
Really?
think the media should go to that level. Had there been a deal, reveal it. Had there been a deal, expose it. We are not against that. But just, I mean, especially at a time like this, okay, they went not to get into an agreement in the country, but they went
Wait
to
a minute, there was
to-
a deal.
Huh?
There was a deal.
So-
he asked for the interest payments to be put on a
That's-
moratorium.
Yeah, absolutely. That was for the benefit of the country.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what's wrong in that?
But why couldn't it have been done very secretly?
So that, I mean, how can you do with the media like you? You're there to expose. I mean, we don't want to do anything confidential, anything secret now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that fear that at least you know that we are watching.
Absolutely, there should be.
that's-
And to tell you, independence of media, freedom of media is guaranteed under President Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
No,
Thanks a lot
no,
for saying that.
It was the United National Party who did that. The
No, you
right
can say-
to information. Remember that?
No, right, no.
Remember the
No,
right to
no.
information.
Before
Do you remember
elec-
the right to information?
Yeah, prior to elections, what was said was...
And with
this-
all, with
this-
all
this-
the connections, with all the connections that dear Arjun, the Bond baby, with all his connections to dear Ranil, Uncle Ranil, right? With all that,
Yeah.
he still
escaped.
spent 10 months in there.
He escaped, but...
No, he didn't
but no,
escape. Not yet.
No, but what I'm telling you is, those days, during presidential elections,
Yeah.
what the media said was, what the UNP said was,
Yeah.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, if elected, there will not be freedom, there will not be independence. Now, it is more than what people enjoyed even earlier.
President Gota said something yesterday. It was quite interesting. He said one term's plenty if you're allowed to do your job.
Absolutely.
And isn't that what Maithripala said as well?
No, that is what even CBK said. I mean, when you're in that seat...
But Minder,
but-
Minder did once, twice, won the war, thank you.
But this
won
is
the war, built the highways at great cost, thank you. Right, okay, it's all done. But he wanted a third
You're very
term.
sarcastic. No, Bill.
But
Bill, I
no.
mean, appreciate that the 5 years are built.
I
At a
love
cost.
it. I
At a
love
cost,
it.
yeah.
I can go from here to Tangol in 2.5 hours. I love it. I went to the Gaul Cricket Stadium from Kottawa to there to the gate. It took us 23 on the highway. 23 minutes that was. We were just testing a new car, but you know the thing is, it was quite good. Nobody's saying anything.
So you
about
didn't get copped.
They missed us.
If the IGP is watching, I think it's up to
Well, yes,
him.
but the point is he's the IGP and he's about to retire, poor chappie. He's got caught out telling lies.
Yeah, but one of them
delivery.
might cop you now.
Yes, no, on the way back we paid our dues. Now then, the point is this. Nobody's taking anything away from dear Minder, excepting, I keep going on about this, he's a bit soft. He can't take, he's a nice fellow.
Yeah, so
but
now...
he can't take, he got all these guys, you know, who got their little
answer.
things to hide.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, well,
now,
you could.
Yeah, now, to be the Prime Minister, we have only a few options available as of now. Now, we have to face elections in just less than 50 days.
Right.
Out of the options available,
Yeah.
isn't mine the best? Of course. So you say, and another thing is now, those days, last elections, what the opposition said about Gota was, he's tough. Now, about Mahinda, what you say is he's soft. So,
yeah, but
other
we've
than
always
that,
known he's soft.
Yeah, so I mean,
come on,
it's
you know,
always better in a democracy. It's always
you worked with him.
Yeah,
How
in a
many
democracy,
times has he shouted and yelled his head off at people for not doing whatever it is? And then you know, as long as you don't turn your back and walk out, he calms down himself and he'll say to you, "Shall we have a cup of tea?" Like I've asked you to have a cup of tea this morning.
I mean, isn't that human quality is something that we should be appreciating in a democracy?
Yes.
I mean, that's a true democratic leader.
But I must tell you this.
That's a true
A lot of people watch us.
Yeah.
We have viewers, and thank you, by the way, for watching us live from this morning from Saudi Arabia, from the United Arab Emirates, from Australia. People are watching. There are people watching in this country. There are people, somebody from Gaul, right? Nurelia, Nugegoda. People, these are the questions come through to this morning.
Yeah.
From Corpity as well. Now then.
Corpity, not from your friend.
Don't have any friends in Corpity.
Oh, your dear friend down 5th Lane.
5th Lane, Ranu. No, he watches this by proxy.
Yeah.
He's got
I
a
thought
man
he's calling you.
No, he doesn't. He calls the guest afterwards. I would love to have a chat with him live.
Yeah.
But you know, he will have to answer. I'm not going to give him the questions in written form like the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. I will ask him questions. It's my program.
Not what you have written, but what he has written. You will ask.
No, I will ask him what comes in the head. Now then, Minder. Isn't Minder the big problem here? Because if you look at all our leaders, if you look at
Minder is the biggest problem for the UNP, for the opposition.
No, I'm saying for the country. Because he's a bit soft. He's a nice guy, man.
So I mean, what is wrong
in being nice?
In being nice in a democracy.
Nothing wrong as long as he keeps gets his mates to keep their little fingers out of the till. Out of the cake.
Now that is why there is a president, and also if people can elect a proper team, then with his softness and with his vision and with his experience, we will be able to deliver to the expectation of the people.
I got some figures in my head. Sri Lankan Airlines, when they decided to order, this is in your government, in pre-2015, they decided to order these aircraft. The overpayment, that's a nice way of saying they over-invoiced. Now the overpayment came to about $180 million. 180 million Trump dollars, right? Now then, that's there. But, you know, nobody's talking about, and our team are looking at this very seriously, nobody's talking about the leasing arrangement, the finance arrangement. That finance arrangement was due to go on for about 10 or 15 years, about 15 years. If you make an overpayment every month, and you continue for 15 months, gee, That's a lot of money. Cilla Black would have said that's a lot of money. It really is. Now then, that's money that the public can't afford. 180 million, and the list is on and on. There's a guy who's being investigated now. He didn't even know that 800,000 Trump dollars turned up in his bank account. Honestly.
No, I'm telling you, I'll tell you, because due to these reasons only, we were defeated in 2015. Now,
But it's still going on. There are photographs doing the social media.
No, photographs of
60th birthday party or the 50th birthday party. That's fine.
Whose birthday party?
Oh, this person in the news, the same one who says, well, I don't know about the 800,000, but I can find out.
Yeah, such incidents were the reasons behind our defeat. But to tell you, now with the present government, as of now, we have completed about 4 months.
Yeah.
President has seen to it that such incidents have not occurred and will not occur. So that is why we have appointed as the government people with professional background, people who are not politically connected or politicians in such important seats. So we are hopeful that we will not be doing the mistakes that we did during the last government, and we are hopeful that the people once again will elect people who are competent, people who are responsible, people who are clean, people who can deliver.
People who are not brothers-in-law of the family, people who are not the family, people who are not, aunties, children's, Bapa's child, this, that and the other. Those people too.
No.
What about them?
No, couple of person. Person who has. I mean, I may have a relation who is experienced and competent in a particular field.
But
so
in that case, having listened to all of this, isn't it better that the real only option, we've got Gota, dear Nandasena Gota, president, fair and square win. Good.
Yeah.
The next best thing.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about sliced bread here. The next best thing. Person with zero corruption. The real clean leader. Shouldn't it be Sajid Premadasa? Would you support him in a national government?
Not under any circumstances.
Why? Don't you want clean government?
No. This country has suffered enough.
Don't you want clean government?
We want clean governments. We will ensure clean government. But this two-party type called national government has done enough damage to this country. So under any circumstances, we should not try that arrangement ever in this country.
But can you see the conundrum our dear president is facing? It's about coming up to 4 months now.
Yeah.
Right? And he can't do it because he's being held back by Ayya.
No, he's not been held back by anyone. It's obvious we don't have a proper parliament power. We are in minority in parliament. We were in minority. That issue will be resolved in less than 50 days.
I wish you well.
Give us time, give us a few months. Thereafter, we will see to it that we will deliver to the expectation of the people.
Well, I wish you well because I know and we know that you are.
And
we're an honourable chap.
We are for clean governance.
Good. I hope that you will then support Sajid Premadasa. On that note, that's the way it was on NEWSLINE Live. Take care. Have a great...
I'm telling you very, very openly and categorically, we will not agree for any such national government. We will stand by the policies of the
if you have a national government...
SLPP and Gotabaya Rajapaksa's policies, we will all stand by and we will see to it that people will get what they expect all this time.
It's been a wonderful program, and as always, we love your openness. Thank you ever so much. But at News First, we will continue to plug the cause of clean government democratic government, an equal playing field for everybody, from north, the south, from the east, and the west. And, you know, my grateful thanks to TV1, which is, of course, part of the Maharaja Group. And don't we love you? Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.